one, going live. We're live. I'm just gonna always give these like little goofy faces before because you have 3 seconds to do a thumbnail, so I have to pause. It's like the photo booth thing. Now, I noticed on that last video, the Rode Video mic test that I did, I also mentioned I have the Black Atom Mini and this Lilliput monitor that I only have because the Blackmagic Atom Mini doesn't allow monitoring of headphones because there's no headphone jack in it. And there's a headphone jack in my computer. But when I try to use that, it won't allow you to. And I'm pretty sure I checked the manual on this one. And if anybody out there knows about the Blackmagic Atom Mini and can confirm this, only way you can monitor audio is if you have it going out to a monitor like I do right now. And I will have a separate camera to show this stuff later. Thank you to my favorite subscriber. You know who you are. He's giving me some feedback, helping very much. Shout out to Cold Water Productions. I appreciate it. And it did freeze here, and I should have marked the time when it froze. My image froze. So I'm guessing maybe around the time I saw my image freeze is when we lost audio. Now, right now, I've just got the visual coming from a camera right now. One of these cameras that doesn't have XLR inputs. It's, it's one of these range of cameras that's not cheap because some cameras, when you go like even $500 or less, like now it's different. Now it's different. I shouldn't say that because there are some point and shoots now that have great quality that would be great for this. And they also have great webcams, USB that, now I don't know if you have like a USB hub where you can plug in multiple USB microphones and USB cameras. Can you just cut to those different ones? Maybe there's some programs you can do that. I don't know. I'd love to explore it. I'd love to test any piece of equipment that is sent my way. Would love to. Apologize for the messy living room. We have a 4-year-old. So yeah, he runs this town. So for now, he's allowed to for a couple more weeks. He's 4, so maybe a few more years. But I can. So it's funny though. It doesn't matter if I can monitor my audio and hear it fine. I don't always know what's going to happen on the other end of things. So this is why it's good to sometimes edit your videos first and then upload them. I don't know why I'm stressing to do all this live stuff. I don't know what it is, but my buddy, I see you. Type to me. My favorite fan is on here. He's the best man in the world. Type to me. No one ever types to me. I don't even know if this thing functions. Does this thing work? Say something. It says say something like, hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. There's so many weird things I could do in front of the camera. Don't I'm gonna say it like that. I mean, like singing and dancing, and I got a pretty wide shot here. I could bust a move back there. Okay, don't. Speaking of that, my camera, not about busting a move, but I'm lucky. I've got a zoom on here, so I can zoom in and out with this camera. And this is why I want to kind of go on a search for new cameras, because there's got to be. And I know there's different quality depending on the sensor, depending on the aperture, how wide open you can get your iris on your camera. A lot of it depends. I would like to think now that you could spend $200 to $300 on a point and shoot or something that will give you that you just need the visual for if you're trying to do something like this. Most people though would probably, if you're just Zooming by yourself into interviews or doing Zoom conferences and you just want a better quality camera and microphone, you could totally go USB. Get a nice USB 1080p webcam. I don't even know if they make 4K ones yet. If they do, go for it. I don't know what can handle 4K or not. I can't even watch 4K videos on YouTube on certain computers I have because it gets all jittery. But anyway, back to the point of this video is we want to make sure that the mic doesn't cut out on this one. So your boy Joey Martin here, going bananas. Joey, why don't you just record it separately and cut it together in a video editor and then upload it? I don't know because going live is addicting. I don't know. It's just crazy. Some people would never dream to do this. Like I almost am doing this as if I am just doing a personal video blog, but this is going out live. This could be permanent. Speaking of that, I deleted a video that I did recently, a couple weeks ago. Actually, I don't know. I've had a lot of work the past couple months, so it's been okay. Maybe it was a couple months ago because I was doing some tests for a period of time when I got this, and then I just stopped because I'm just working. I see, and I need to start recording some GoPro footage of stuff I'm doing so that I can come here and be like, "Do you see the crazy stuff I'm doing? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Do you think I think I'm going to make a living doing this?" So, that could be an aspect or a perspective on it. It could be just like, look at this fun stuff I'm doing, these fun cameras. We do get to use some fun cameras. So if you're interested in the Sony FS7, FS5, they're coming out with a camera every 5 seconds, man. Yeah. I would like to think though, for this kind of quality camera that you could pay, it doesn't have to be this camera. It could be a Sony, it could be something else, but there's got to be, you just need clean HDMI out and the ability to plug it in to power or have a really good battery with it. It's got to have good power. Like the point and shoots, it would only work if you can plug it in to power, keep it powered. And it's got to be able to stay on for at least a long period of time for me because I could just be talking. I am at 6:08. I'm going to try to keep it to a 10-minute. This is just to see how long this video mic sustains. It seems to be sounding good. I'm seeing good quality right now through my feedback image. But it's not always that sharp when I watch the videos back. I don't know why, but we're just testing. If anybody wants to know, I'm doing 24p because I want to be able to grab more light when I can. This is not, I don't even think this has a 1-inch CMOS sensor in it. CMOS is usually the sensors a lot of cameras have now. Yeah. I should probably get a more specific percentage, but CMOS is pretty popular now. They don't do a lot of CCD anymore. Now, please correct me if I'm getting these terms wrong, but 1-inch is like kind of the minimum for low light. And I don't think this is a 1-inch CMOS sensor. So aperture on your lens helps too. Aperture, f-stop, iris, I'm pretty sure those all refer to the same three things. I will try to explain these things as we go. But the thing is, I'm going to start engaging, figure out what people need. We're living in a different time. If you need better, oh, here we go. I got autofocus on now. But what I want to do is just hit it when it's got me. Boom. And then go to manual. And then it just stays. So it's not searching for it all the time. So there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about with this tip. But right now, pertaining to things I'm dealing with at work, it's a lot of, like, if I can make some more videos talking about upload speed. So I just called, this is a different video I got to do. With one phone call, I was able to double my upload speed at home. And you got to ask them a lot of questions. Got to be like, what deals do you have going on? I got Comcast and you got to ask them about, for example, when I got done with the guy on Comcast, he was able to up my download speed, extra 100 megabytes per second, double my upload to 20. It's actually like 23, 24. Thank goodness. But gave me this promotional offer. It's a 12-month thing. At first it was $60 a month, but that was going to be month to month where I could just break it off at any time. But I locked in at a $50 per month. Way too much download speed. We don't need that much. Wish I had more upload speed. I'm looking into other options. There actually is a fiber option I'm going to do, and I had the choice of either doing that like right now since the price went up on my Comcast bill, or just try to figure out a new Comcast cheap, packet. And I'm glad I did it only in the sense that I can communicate this to other people and say, look, you can call your provider, and I get it. You need like half a day. You need a couple hours, because I had to call and get some options and then call back because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. And I know I have to be prepared to ask a lot of questions, because you don't want to just be like, yeah, just get it done as soon as possible, because they'll sign you up for $70, $80, and you really want to just try to get your money's worth. So I think for that price, that's reasonable. But I am going to be looking at trying to spend, even if it's a little bit more, on something that looks more like, 100 download, but also 100 upload speed too. Maybe not that much, but I may, because there's other avenues in my field that could be very useful for, in terms of as a videographer. If you need to send footage, anywhere in the world, I could open that up as what I do for my business. I'm like, I'm based in Indianapolis, but I go out and shoot interviews and B-roll all over, and if they have the money to send me to where they need to be sent. But anyway, I can get back home at that point and then start uploading, and I could just, that part of the process could be, updated and modernized, and it would be a big difference, especially if you're dealing with like filming in 4K. I'm going to need 100 megabytes per second upload speed, because upload is when you're trying to like, upload a video conferencing, zooming. That's the upload speed, which I need to just do a separate video with that and say, hey, I want to talk about upload speed. Okay, Joey, talk about upload speed. All right. So far, it hasn't frozen. Sometimes I do have to unplug the Blackmagic Mini because it doesn't have an on-off switch. Some of these new devices do not have on-off switches, which is really like weird for me. I almost feel like I need to plug all of them into a power strip because the power strip has an on-off switch, which I guess you can do it that way. But I guess it's not a big deal to unplug and plug back in. But I just say be careful. You got to be careful with those little prongs on the end when you plug something in AC. They can get bent, man, and that is just it can be annoying, especially if it's something you got to replace, and you just want to keep the original one that came with the device. Okay, so we got Rode for microphone, great. Sennheiser headphones. You don't need anything crazy with the headphones. At least I don't think with this. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I'm out getting an interview and it's pristine quality HD, I'm gonna want the best audio. For this, I mean, I don't want crappy audio. I want it to be I don't want that going on, during it needs to be decent, but you can get pretty good audio quality like this for about $100. This is what I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see if I can find people a great deal on monitors for $100 or used ones. The monitor could be used. I mean, some of this stuff, it can be used. I mean, you can buy used, and you just need to have, or an open box. I'm going to talk a lot about open box stuff on eBay, stuff that they opened it to check it, but then they put it right back in, and it's not been, make sure you buy stuff with return policies though. 14-day to 30-day would be my recommendation. And just be prepared to get it, test it. And because sometimes you can get something new and it doesn't always, at least it may function as intended, but it may not do all the things you wanted it to do. So always be prepared to send it back. Which, yes, can be a pain, but that is a video I need to do. I need to do a video where it's like, hey, I just bought this thing. I want to show people how I get on the computer, get the printout thing. We have to get a new printer. We have a printer, but it's starting to be archaic. Like, I bought this printer because you could print onto DVD discs, labels. Hardly use that. We'll probably hardly use that because how many people out there are labeling their DVDs? I mean, you still may want to have hard copy backups, but I think people are going to probably get more into like having extra hard drives and extra flash drives for things. But I mean, to have stuff on a hard copy, especially like photos, and I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Your disc could get scratched, but the idea is to have different, multiple backups. I'm thinking a lot of like home videos, photos, family, all that stuff. Life. Because what's the point of living without making some memories? Even though if you spend all your time behind the lens making memories, and you weren't really in the moment. That's the tricky thing. That's another thing I'm going to talk a lot about on Digital Bananas is like we have phones that you can make a movie with your kids, a movie of your kids, and I'll talk about how you can do that if it's like, hey, we're going to do that this weekend. We're going to have fun and make a movie with the iPhone. Stuff like that. But you don't need, everything they're selling out there. Obviously, we got to figure out what people need and figure out what you don't need so you don't have to worry about it. Like I spend a lot of time looking at gear because it's kind of like my thing, and I'm trying to turn it into this, to help other people. Because I mean, let's face it, we're all part of social media now. We're all part of the media, whether you think it's fake or not. And so, and we do interviews with IIB where basically, if you're starting a business or doing something that's relevant to a show, anybody's eligible now to be interviewed from home. Like seriously, so that's other videos I've got to do too. So if you're wanting to do that, get set up. I hope my audio and video are syncing up pretty good. I'm at 14 minutes now. This is a good length. I've been testing this new video mic. This is an old school one. I got this years ago. My wife got it for me. God bless her, because she did not need to get it for me at the time, but she did. And now I'm excited because I think it's really coming into use. This is really a perfect scenario for it. I've always kept that in mind with gear that I've had. When we can use it for, I mean, you can take a camera out and record straight to a card onto it, but you can also plug it into a monitor and record into a, there's so many different ways to record. And I'll tell you what, they mix all kinds of stuff in documentaries and stuff now. Everybody knows this. I live in a world now where everybody knows everything. I don't even know why I'm doing this. There's videos already out there about all this information. I'm already late to the game, even though I signed up 6 years ago. But I'm here. I'm doing it. Testing the Rode mic. This is a pretty good setup for me and anybody else who might be wanting to do this kind of thing from home. I have a Blackmagic Atom Mini that has 4 HDMI inputs. Most people may not need that much. If you are wondering if this works with gaming, I am able to take my Switch, which I have. Check this out, y'all. So this is where, like, I haven't bought any major gear because I've just been buying things like this. HDMI cables, monitor. The monitor I needed to get for work because I do videography and at live events like, IRT's relaunching. They're launching their series. They're starting with a one-man show about It's a Wonderful Life. You can get it. You can sign up and get it through their service. Look up Indiana Repertory Theater. They're starting their season. That, for example, I was on a camera for that show and I had this monitor, and it's so nice because it's a bigger monitor. It's like, 8 inches, and I can see more, and it helps to follow the action. There was a lot of movement, and I was able to be in closer, but then really follow the action. But anyway, check that show out. It's a Wonderful Life. It's a one-man show. Rob is fantastic in it. And I just realized that, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to make sure that I get all this information right before I finish this video. Oh, yeah. Oh, snaps. Because I don't want to give out all the wrong information. Well, how are you? What was that? Well, how are you? How are you? Okay. So anyway, this was really about sustaining, because I did a video before where my favorite banana fan was like, your audio cut out. And which makes sense because there was a point where the thing froze on me. The picture froze. And anyway, I got to talking about this monitor, which I didn't even mention in this video, and it got me to thinking about how helpful it was to use for live stuff. I was just explaining that for me, luckily, I can use stuff. I get my value out for other things. But if someone's just getting a monitor just for this, obviously I want to try to keep it cheaper for people. I said Rob was fantastic. He is fantastic. Rob Johansson, he holds the whole show, does voices, character. It's a one-man show. It's great. It's wonderful. I mean, it has all the emotions, all the good feels. It's one of those things, if you've seen the movie, you'll love it. If you haven't seen the movie, you'll love it. For those who haven't seen the movie, go see this, and then you'll want to see the movie. And then for those who have seen the movie, go see it because you love the movie. If you don't love the movie, then just ignore what I'm saying. It's a Wonderful Life one-man show. Indiana Repertory Theater. I'm just mentioning them because I was talking about my monitor, and I just used it recently with an FS7 camera, which was fabulous. 28 to 135 lens. You nerd. Dropping in those lens numbers. Who cares? Okay. To my one banana fan, I love you. I banana you. I banana you? Can we use that phrase? I banana you. Anyway, folks, when life gives you bananas, go bananas. Make banana bread. Make banana pudding. All those things. I appreciate it. And, I appreciate my number one, my favorite fan here, because I got 2 favorite fans. Everyone's my favorite fan. I can't say that. That's going to be, I love everybody. I just love this one person in particular because they're here every single time I'm doing a live webcast, and I just appreciate that. But they have sent me like funny, they'll see a funny image of a banana with eyes on it or something like at the store, like something that's been, and I really can't wait to get a website going with this because I want people to be able to upload their fan art, or things. And I just think it would be so fun just to have all this like go bananas. Like that's what it's all about. It's about going bananas. And I'm very grateful that, I mean, I've seen there's some other YouTube channels out there, I think called Digital Bananas. So I could call the show Going Bananas with Joey Martin or something like that. So if I end up changing it, but I believe that this theme of the bananas is working. I feel like I could work it better than anybody else because, I mean, let's just face it. I want to do some hip hop music, which I'm rhyming as many words as I can with banana. It's going to go into the theme music for the show. I got to start working on that. And I want to show me in the process of making the music. So people out there who are wanting to make a YouTube show can kind of take from me, you know, if they need to. It helps me. Ooh, 20 minutes. I have been advised that this is a good length for YouTube videos now. So this was a good test for the Rode VideoMic. I appreciate everybody out there. Everybody. God bless you. Go bananas. Don't go too bananas, but go, you know what I say when I say go bananas? Find those things to go bananas in life that are like this is fun to go bananas. It can be stressful. It can be stressful, but if you are getting stressed at it, you know, just take a step back. I understand what that's like. I want to try to open the pipeline more with folks out there that are really like, you know, I like what you're doing with your camera. I need something similar. I will say this too, if you got bad upload speed at home and you need to maybe get an Ethernet cable plugged right in, that's the thing. The Ethernet is great because you have that consistent plug-in. But I have seen Ethernet where it doesn't work because we were using Skype and Zoom worked better. So there's all kinds of factors. There's so many factors. I mean, I'm doing the same setup I did just 20, 30 minutes ago where I was doing a live video where my audio cut out. I'm using the exact same setup, but I'm hoping this next video works out better. And thank you to my number one fan. I'm just calling him my number one fan because actually, let me know, number one fan, if I can just say your name. I think I've said your name before and you didn't care. So I guess if I don't say the last name. Brad, thank you. Thank you for letting me know about when videos are not working. And Jeff, thank you again for listening to me and letting me know exactly what I need to do on YouTube right now to stay relevant because it's crazy. It's crazy. One of the reasons I avoided doing this for a while is because I felt like I missed the boat. I was like, I should have been doing this 2 or 3 years ago. But then it's like, well, what are people? There's obviously going to be YouTube influencers years from now. So, I mean, all I know is that there's going to be people jumping on the influence thing now who are younger than me, and they're going to be making so much money. And it's just like, well, I'm not trying to be rich, but I mean, dang, when I see some of these numbers, like I don't need to make millions every year. I'll tell you that. I'm not looking for millions. But I will say with as pricey as things are, like, I just can't believe we're getting to a point where it's like families need to make like $100,000 a year if you want to survive the way you ideally want to. That's for another video talking about perspective when it comes to like how much things cost, because you could give one person $40,000 a year who aren't used to that much money and they'd be like, I'm rich. But then you could give it to somebody else who are just like, I make like 3 times this much. And this isn't going to be, you know. So anyway, this was all about testing the VideoMic. I am going bananas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I go off the tail and I talk about budgeting and things, but everything, I don't know, it's relevant because how much money you make depends if you can do this kind of thing. I would like people to get some kind of basic setup going because I want to start interviewing people where I can just click over to another HDMI input and I've got a Zoom call coming in that I'm going to have set up right here under the camera. Everything's got to kind of be placed in a certain setup. That's another thing I can talk to other YouTubers out there who are trying to set this. It's definitely, I mean, I got the mic right here. I'm probably going to need to get something to put the laptop on so it's over my cables. And once I get that plugged in, it's going to be like, all right, how many more laptops do I need to have coming in? Because, folks, I'm not going to lie. I have thought that a 3-computer setup would be nice where one computer was doing the live stream, one computer coming in HDMI could be the full gallery shot of a Zoom call, and then the third laptop would be for all of those close-up shots. So I could literally cut in between. Now, I could probably I'm going to do tests where I'm just using the one laptop, and I'm cutting between me and when I decide to go full screen with someone. But it's hard to not want to go gallery shot where you see everybody on the Zoom meeting, which I probably won't even have any more than 1 or 2 people. So 2 people at max, because me hosting, 2 guests. It's easier to just interview people one at a time anyway. So I'll be okay with 1 laptop for the time being. But I'm coming up on 30 minutes, and apparently I just know how to talk forever. I could have spent all that time cleaning this mess up, but I didn't. So I did this instead. So I wanted to test this mic. I've been wanting to for a few days, but now that I got this set up, and I am probably going to do some tests where I'm going to do some quick videos where I'm going to check to make sure the microphone is on. But if I could avoid setting up the headset and the monitor, and I can tell people, but that's the thing. It's interesting. I could hear myself earlier, but the only indication I had that something was going wrong is that my stream froze. So I probably just need to go back and just, stop and start over. But hopefully I can be a guinea pig for this and help other people figure this out. But if I could get rid of the monitor here just to make some room, because I'm going to add a laptop on here, because I can see myself in my camera. This is it's funny, but a lot of this is just so I can get that headphone jack out of a monitor, because that's the only way I can. Because people are going to be, why don't you just plug it into your computer? I know, I've tried. It's not set up that way. It's weird. You got to utilize the HDMI out of the Black Atom Mini. Or what I'm talking about doing is kind of going blind and having basically no headphones on, where I'm just like, okay, I can hear myself talking out loud. It's hard though, because on my monitor, I've got level meters going that show me that coming out of the Atom Mini, I've got levels. So, and another thing with this, with this Lily Put monitor is and I need to do a whole other video on this, but it is upside down because I wasn't able to plug in what I needed to from underneath. I had to go from the top. So I had to go into the menu and flip the image just so I could do this. And it's just like, man, when you figure out something you got to be dedicated in life for, you just got to go for that, because it just, every little, like, I had to make sure this was here and this was here. It's just like, oh my goodness. And thank you to my wife for letting me set this up and leave this here. For the most part, it's not too bad. I mainly just, the camera's on a little mini tripod, so it can be taken off the desk if needed. And then everything else can be packed and put away. Ideally, it will all be put into one bag. I've got to buy another bag. See, that's the thing. I'm only saving money right now buying bags, adapters, like lens. I can't even buy a lens. I can't even buy a new camera because I'm not sure what to get. I've been playing a lot with my C100, getting some imagery that I really like, film-wise, that I'm going to show, that I'm basically going to probably rock with for the next couple years. And I've been renting that out for gear rentals to try to build up some income to then decide. And that's some more videos I could do if I ever go for one of those big, nice 4K cameras. That would be a dedication. I would have to dedicate it to, I would only do it if I was willing to rent it out, which I will, because I don't know how else to make the money for it. But it could be a long-term investment that after a few years, 5 to 10 years, if the camera will last that long, that it could make money. It could, but not a lot of people have that kind of money to invest right away in one of those cameras. Those cameras are like, I'm talking like a FS7 type. Panasonic's got the EV1. Canon, you're talking like C300 Mark II or III, probably III with the specs, but that's even more money compared to like that even. So I'm not buying any of that stuff right now. I'm going to try to get this to work. I got music I'm working on that I am going to start either releasing what I'm working on or start putting together some stuff where I can start showing you some of the techniques I do in Logic Pro. I want to know what you're using, though. I got to do another video that asks, are you using Logic Pro 10? And would that be easier if I got to Logic Pro 10 to help you out? I'm assuming yes, because even though the programs are probably really similar in some ways, there's probably, enough differences, at least the way the interface looks. It's an all dark interface with Logic Pro X. So just it's probably going to be easier for people to see my videos if they're seeing the program that they're using. That's what I would rather do. So I'm going to do a video called "How many people out there would," and I probably will have my laptop set up, and I'll probably be fiddling around in GarageBand, coming up with a song. I'll probably come up with a song called "Who Wants Me to Do More Videos on Making Music," something like that. But it'll sound a lot better. Because Logic Pro makes it really easy to get. I don't know. I've been pretty successful at making music in both, not in terms of successful. When I say successful, I mean putting them together the way I want them to sound. Not success in terms of, oh, I've released so many records, and no, I'm not there. I wish I really would. I really do want to come out with like an EP album, like just 6 songs that I'm really happy with. But I'm trying to make myself go more acoustic, so I'm not thinking, because when you start making pop music, sometimes whatever genre it is, you just want to sprinkle in all these little instruments everywhere and do this kind of music where you've got like just layers and layers of and I'm trying to like avoid that. I'm trying to keep it very simple with just like acoustic guitar, bass, electric guitar, and an acoustic kit. And I'll show people too how I use the acoustic kit with within Logic to try to make it sound as natural as possible, because you do have to try to, it can sound unnatural if you're not at the right tempo and all that stuff. Anyway, over 30 minutes. What a test to see if this mic has sustained. It's got another thing people are going to have to get, if you get a microphone like this where you have to have a battery, you're going to have to get a battery checker, so that because you don't want to be live and then all of a sudden it cuts out because your battery went out. So you're going to want to, I check the battery on the, and I'm going to check it regularly because I want to see how long it may last a while. So I could tell people like, yeah, just put one Duracell 9-volt. You'll be good to go for a while. But another reason why it's great to monitor, and I probably will never be able to avoid not monitoring with this Lilliput, is that if the battery in the mic goes out. So I will talk to people about the best way to make sure that if you don't have a monitor and you can't do this, you're just going to have to do a quick video live, play it back and make sure it worked, and then go from there, and then check it when it's done. So I don't know, you're avoiding a lot of headache by having monitoring. And like I said, you just need a simple HDMI monitor that you can get the HDMI in, you can set it up, get the HDMI plugged in, headset to make sure that your mic's working, you can hear it. It would be nice too if the monitor can show your levels like this Lilliput can, and also nice if you can flip it if for some reason you got to put the inputs from the top. I found another use for my quick release plate. Actually, it's just sitting on just a camera plate right now. But you can screw this in, and you can use it on your monitor stand. It can just sit. I'm just going off of the plate right now, the plate that actually slides into this. It seems to be working just fine. But I had to do that because I didn't have any extra of these little leg things. You can just get they got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of little legs you can screw into the bottom. I could get something like this for this Lilliput because it's not heavy. It's not a heavy monitor. It's heavy if you put a big, heavy battery on it, and it's got screws on every single side. So I could technically, have it screwed in from the side of the monitor. There's one on top. So that's why I was able to do it from flip it and then go into the menu and flip the image the way I needed to. So you gotta do all that before you. Anyway, so I got to do videos showing that. But right now I'm just doing videos to show my quality, what I've got. This is what I'm rocking with for my show. This is the new microphone I'm going to be using. I'm going to implement a laptop for Zoom and to also just do how-tos and show you what I'm doing in terms of cutting video and music. Because now that we're in this pandemic, I mean, I was cutting some music together yesterday. You could spend hours just fiddling, and I want to help people because it can get stressful because you can get worn out, redoing the same take over and over again. and you got to figure out when you got to redo the take and when you can manipulate a little bit in the computer to help you. One thing I was doing yesterday that I really want to help musicians with is how you take like a guitar or an instrument that you see those wave files and figure out a way where you can cut a loopable sample, which is hard to do because sometimes you need that little, when you get that sample ready, you need a little bit at the beginning. I was figuring this out yesterday when I was in Logic Pro. I had to take my audio waveform and just kind of use the flex tool to kind of just squish the front part of this wave. And I need to show you in a computer what I'm doing so I can explain it better. But I was able to actually get it loopable where I could start and it hits the guitar chord right off the bat. It seems really sudden, but I think it works. I might open it up with a little like 3, 2, 1, and then it goes into the song just to kind of help that. But once it's able to loop, you can let that backbone of the song sit there and just kind of start adding your elements around it. So I need to show. And what else I was doing is I was coming up with the melody line on the acoustic, and then I was playing these different melody lines. And then instead of recording those, I went straight to the vocals to record the melody I was playing on the acoustic, using that melody line for the vocals to try that. And I realized sometimes I'm doing that with instruments. I'm like, oh, I'm playing the part that the bass should be playing right now, or maybe the voice should be doing right now. So those are things that I'm working on with music. But anyway, thank you for listening to my long, crazy test here. This was all basically to make sure my Rode mic worked. It worked for a sustained amount of time. We're going on 36 minutes. The day is gone. And I've only had my one favorite subscriber. Can my guy, are you probably busy? Can you type to me? Can you type to me right now? Is it Brad? Are you there? Can you type something? You type something. I just want to make sure this works, because at some point, what I hope will happen is and this is the live aspect that I'm not able to do right now that keeps making me think like I just need to, record these and edit these not live and then just upload the final video. Because at some point, my hope is that when I have all this stuff plugged in, I will be responding to people on here live, and they'll say things like, "Hey, can I join the show, or can I jump on?" And I've got to figure that aspect out, because people got to know, if you come on and I switch over to you and I can hear you and you say things that I can't have on the show, like curse words or just, potty language, whatever, I'm going to have to cut the stream and delete the video as soon as possible so I don't get in trouble. So, but in terms of coming on live, I'm probably going to have specific people do that. But what I would love to do is either relay people's comments, or I might do a test where I'm coming out HDMI of the laptop, even though I'm streaming, because, and that might screw it up. I don't know, but I just think it might be interesting if you could see what I'm seeing on my live stream. The control view. How do you get this full screen? There it is. So I could just, I'm assuming that, okay. So then I could show, which would be nice to show, like, hey, this is what my interface looks like. This is what I'm seeing over here and all that. Ooh, I am losing battery juice on this camera. So almost clocking it at 40 minutes. I'm not getting any tight backs, but that's okay. That's okay. I forgive you. I just want to make sure this live stream part works. I just had an idea, though. I could sign in on my phone. I can sign in on my phone. If I go to YouTube, can I see myself live? Is that sad or what? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so bored. I need to do a show live and then watch myself. Go, Joey, go. It is. You can just see me live right now. There's one person watching. Does that mean there's 2 people watching now? Okay. I'm watching myself. Okay. Testing. I'm talking to myself. I can talk to myself. That's actually signed in on Digital Bananas on another device. Thank you, YouTube, for letting me do that. I'm surprised they're letting me do that. So I'm so lonely that I'm texting myself just to make sure it's working. Here, let me get out of here. let me get out of here. And I was going to sign in on another account, but it seems to be working, even though it's still me talking to myself. So hold on a second. This would be another video though. So, of course I'm going to just, if I sign in with my regular account, my Joey Martin regular civilian account, and then I look up Digital Bananas, like I'm a fan, like I love this show. And look, there is a Digital Banana Tech. So, and I don't know when they got started. I mean, I know when I started my YouTube page. So I almost sent myself something in the mail, just a little note that said, I have decided to create a YouTube show called this on this day, and like send it to myself and like, I don't know, have photo evidence of me on the computer signing up. I don't know. But I thought it was enough evidence that I could go back and show when actually, I'm so goofy on my thumbnail. Okay, coming on in again. This is Joey the Civilian. Joey. Can you hear me? Joey. You got to see this video, man. This guy's just talking to himself. So at least it's working. It's working. I've got, I can't imagine once more people know that I'm doing this regularly that they wouldn't be checking this out. So, I mean, like, just what's Joey doing? Or just becoming a subscriber. That's the key. Because once you have the subscribers, they're going to be notified every time you do something like this, which is great. So, okay, I've tested it. I'm live. I think the upload speed is helping a lot in my house. No, the joke. But now that I'm doing this, I'm like, because here's the thing. The day that I called Comcast to do all this stuff, it was one of those things like, I've done this today. I want to call them. I want to get them taken care of. I never called the place that we're going to go through for fiber to get some of their options because I'm not going to lie, people. It's just, I'm sure other people feel this way. Like, it takes a while to get things done. And I just wanted to kind of get it done for now. So I've got 12 months, a year to figure out what I'm going to I'm pretty confident which company I'm going to go through for fiber, but to get other things done in the meantime before, getting that taken care of. So yeah, was I kind of hoping that the 20 megabytes would be enough? Yes, because yeah, I think if it's just me in the house uploading, I think this is helping a lot more. I'm seeing myself back live just a lot smoother than I have. And I just wanted to be able to see if a simple phone call to my internet provider could not only lower my price, which it did, but actually give me more upload speed without changing anything. They did have a 35 megabyte per second upload option, but that came with a gig of download speed, and I would have had to change my modem. The fiber option we're going to go through, thankfully, they give you a modem, and as long as you don't break contract, you get to hold on to it. So yeah, we are going to be going with somebody different, and it's so funny because like we got a couple weeks with the kids in school until they're back in, because our 4-year-old is pre-K, and pre-K is okay right now, and then our oldest is able to go back under with like a limited percentage of students. He's got an IEP. My oldest has autism, and it's I'm not trying to sit here saying like, hey, he needs an exception. All kids need to be educated. Every child deserves to have group education and one-on-one, just anything they can. But we're fortunate right now. We kind of need it because we need to get this place squared away. I haven't done any of these tests in a while. It's probably like I'm doing overkill right now. I'm almost 45 minutes, but so yeah. But now that I'm realizing that there is a little bit of extra time, I was supposed to be on a shoot today that got moved to next week, so I got a day to do some of this stuff. But I am kind of like I said, I'm glad I'm able to relay the information that I was able to improve video speed, conference call speed, just from a phone call. But if I would advise anybody that if they are going to end up getting like a new modem or switch and have people come out and lay a new line or anything, I guess it depends on what you want to do. If you're okay with getting a new modem just to get the Mac, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, 35 megabytes upload speed for most people um, would be fine. The thing that's just a little crazy is it's totally. They need to have better options. I'm sorry, they need to have like an option where you can have not as much download speed but more upload speed, where like why can't people get 500 megabytes per second download speed but then get their upload speed to 50, which would have been more ideal for me right now. But but I'll keep everyone posted when we finally switch to fiber, because and who we're going through, because it's ultimately what you want. For someone like me, I need to do that if I'm, especially if I'm going to get into shooting 4K and needing to send footage, to other cities online. And then also, I guess keep in mind this this web streaming thing. I am going to have to do a test of doing a Zoom call where I'm going to be using my internet for the download speed of that. The download speed of that? Is that what I wanted to say? Because I'm going to be like, if someone else is using their upload speed and then I'm using download speed to view them. So it's good that I guess I have all this download speed now, because if I have to do one of these with the kids on the internet, so I'll need download speed to view their video, but then I don't think it would affect the upload speed, because I'm just switching over on the Atom Mini to but I am going to be using my upload speed though on the other laptop for the conference call there. So I am going to need to test that. That's going to be, see, I'm just now thinking about that right now. Like if it's a situation, well, I figured when Brittany and I do House Party, when we did it in the past, when we had a little over 10 megabytes per second upload speed, we were okay pretty good for the most part, but you could tell there was, it needed a boost. And we just did a test today. And I think 24 megabytes per second upload speed is good. It'll work. I think I'll be able to do a successful, I'll have enough upload speed to do this, I hope. But I guess what I'm getting at here is when you call in to your provider, you may want to consider, I opted to do the $50 a month with Comcast locked into 12 months. I could have done $60 a month and then just could break it whenever, which I'm starting to think maybe that would have been the better option, but I just don't know when work's going to get crazy again. It could start to get crazy here soon. It could just be one email like, hey, can you edit something? And then all of a sudden I can't focus on everything I need to focus on. But it seems like for now it's working. My hunch was that doubling would be a huge improvement from what I had. And so yeah, seems to be good so far. All right, my phone's about to die. This camera's about to die. I've been on here for way too long, but I appreciate my favorite fan for sticking around. So, but you didn't type anything to me. I had to sign in on somewhere else and act like I was lonely. I am lonely. I talk to myself. I did on here. You see that? That's me talking to myself. That's my civilian self talking to my digital banana self. This dude's nuts. Talking about me. So anyway, when life gives you bananas, go bananas. So whether it's technology or, gosh, even our relationships and how we communicate with people is an art form that just can go bananas. You have those conversations with people like, well, how did this get screwed up? Well, this person told this person that the order needed to be shipped on this day. And, but where's it coming from this day? Well, I didn't. So many things. What is this guy even talking about? It's all bananas. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. When life gives you bananas, make banana bread. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for hanging out. Please subscribe, because the only way this is going to work is if I get more subscribers, people to click that subscribe button, so that anytime I'm doing this, you can just check in with me on whatever I'm talking about. So anyway, Black Atom Mini, Rode Video mic, which could go on a camera. I only have it down here because one, I'm plugging it straight into the Blackmagic Mini, which I like. I don't know. My understanding is the Black Atom Magic Mini, whatever you plug in, you could have different format. Like a camera could be at 720p, another one be at 1080p, and you can have this microphone coming in here. It's all supposed to end up somehow syncing in here and going just USB plug and play. That's the thing that's crazy about it. But another reason, real quick before I get off here, that I want to do specific videos that are talking to teachers and educators, because this could open up an opportunity, because there may be some things that you're trying to educate your kids because you've got some DVDs you need to play or Blu-rays or something like that. And you could set it up where you've got whatever media device going out HDMI. If you wanted to show that to whoever you were educating, whether it's kids or just what kind of class pertaining to some, whatever you're learning about, you can show, it could be, you could have multiple cameras. If you could have, so that you could, if you needed to switch between a couple things, like a close-up camera or a camera that's overhead because you're drawing something to show a math problem or whatever, if it's something where you have a device already, you just need more HDMI inputs, or they have adapters that can go from audio video out, if it's like composite or some other format, that can then go to HDMI. But for the most part, people understand HDMI, audio video. So anyway, there's an aspect to that where if there's an educator out there or there's a school system, they're just trying to come up with a new system on a budget. The Blackmagic Atom Mini seems to be very plug and play friendly, at least with the Mac right now. And at some point, I'd love to test it with all kinds of computers and stuff. So anyway, go bananas, don't go too bananas. I'll be here going bananas. And so, yeah, I got to get my battery changed on my iPhone. I have not gotten a new phone. I have just been replacing things. I got replaced the camera. I've replaced the screen. I am opting to try the whole keep the phone, keep it as a phone, keep everything else separate. I've been looking at getting a new camera, like a pocket kind of camera, to replace using the phone, so I can just kind of keep them separate. I don't know. It's bananas. Maybe I'll get a flip phone. I've said it already multiple times. I'll say it again. When life gives you bananas, go bananas. Love you all. Stay safe. God bless. And I'll see you next time. End this stream. An hour.